to show you guys the difference between using like a normal brush and then using the wet brush. So we're going to start with the normal brush on one side of my hair, and it just gets stuck. Like, I can't even, oh, that sounds horrible. It just doesn't really go through very well. And then on the wet brush side, it literally will just glide right through, which is kind of insane. So in like the same amount of time, see, it just gets so stuck. And then if I have to use the wet brush on this side, it just doesn't even hurt, it just goes straight through. I'm sure we can all agree that a product that can make those annoyingly painful moments in life just go away would be an absolute game changer. So it's exactly what I'm going to show you today. I'm here to persuade the class of Communications 110 to try out the wet brush. You should listen to my speech because the average person has over 100,000 hairs on their head at one time, states Jill Seldy-Schumann on September 30th of last year from the website Healthline, and this product is a way to help preserve and keep all those hairs looking healthy. Today I'm going to discuss 3 reasons why you should try out the wet brush. It's proven to help with hair breakage, it can be used by just about anyone with any hair type, and lastly, it's affordable. Now that you're aware of the product, I'm going to talk about the reasons why I love it and you should love it too. So let's get started. The first reason I think everyone should try out the wet brush is that it's proven to help with hair breakage. Brushing your hair while it's wet is considered bad for your hair, yet even the technology behind the wet brush prevents breakage that can happen. Wet hair is much more elastic than dry hair, which means the hair stretches more when you brush it. And that's the reason why it's also far more fragile than dry hair, states Mariel Brayton, a digital marketing assistant for the website Hairlust, written on February 14th of this year. To completely prove this point, I have chosen a review that showcases how great this hairbrush works. Paulina, who is a hairstylist as well as a writer for the website Team True Beauty, given with no publishing date, raves about not only the original wet brush, but all the other types that they have come out with too. She states, "I don't know how I lived without it before, and that the science behind the brush is legit. I literally brushed through my gnarly, unconditioned hair in about 10 seconds. Throughout her post, she also talks about the science behind the bristles called Entaflex bristles. Now that everyone is aware of the science and facts behind the wet brush and has heard a promising review from a hairstylist, let me tell you about my next selling point. My next point is that this product is extremely versatile and can be used by almost anyone on any hair type. Ed Shears, who is a writer for the website Hairbrushy, which talks about the different types of hairbrushes and rates them, says one of the best brushes for curly hair is the wet brush. One of the biggest advantages of using the wet brush is you can use it on wet hair and not make your curly hair frizzy. That was written on March 14th of 2019. As someone who has wavy and frizzy hair, I can only brush my hair when it's wet or else it just gets out of control. Therefore, I can completely understand and vouch for this struggle. Los Angeles-based hairstylist Joshua Stinton recommends using the wet brush while conditioning to separate curls and snarls with ease, states the website InStyle on July 29th of this year. Considering this product can be used by almost anyone, this leads me into my next and final point. My final point on why everyone should try out the wet brush is because the price point is very affordable. Another review from an impressed customer, Ashley Phillips, states that, "I went with option 2 and bought an $8 wet brush from my local drugstore. Instantly, all my tangle troubles were over. It was almost too easy. The wet brush is around the same price as other drugstore brushes, but actually helps your hair at the same time. The prices range from $7.49 to around $18 depending on the type and the style that you get." This information was found on Amazon.com and Target.com on November 11th, 2020. After hearing me out on all the positives of this product, let's head into my final thoughts and statements. Throughout this speech, I discussed the 3 main reasons to try out the wet brush. It's proven to help with breakage, it can be used by anyone with any hair type, and it is extremely affordable. According to Healthline, which I referenced above, you lose anywhere from 50 to 100 hairs each day. Depending on your hair care routine, you may shed even more. Therefore, having a good hair care routine and trying to take care of your hair sooner is the best option. I encourage everyone to try out the wet brush and see what effect it has on your own hair. Whether your hair turns into knots after the shower or has a lot of breakage you would like to fix, the wet brush can solve it all. The wet brush can easily be bought at your local Walmart or Target for as little as $7.49. I think that money is well spent on hair that stays with you for a whole lifetime.